Jai Hind, this is a critical strategic briefing. The date is April 3rd, 2026, and believe me, the global landscape is shifting faster than a Mach 2 interceptor. From the production lines in Bangalore all the way to the flashpoints in the Persian Gulf, the very nature of air power, of national security, is being redefined right before our eyes. Today, we break down the intelligence. First up, we've got a critical situation developing with India's flagship fighter program. The Tejas Mark 1A has hit a major production roadblock, and this threatens to throw a wrench in the entire Air Force modernization plan. Next, we're going to analyze a really bold strategic play from Moscow. Russia is back at the table, offering its fifth-generation Su-57 stealth fighter to India. But listen to this. This time, it comes with a game-changing, almost sixth-generation twist. And finally, we turn our focus to the inferno that is West Asia. This is where official declarations of victory are colliding head-on with the brutal reality of a widening conflict, a choked global oil supply, and a new kind of warfare that is changing, well, it's changing all the rules. Now, you're going to want to stay with me until the end because some shocking things I am going to reveal in this video. It's a real eye-opener. If you need to stay ahead of these developments, make sure you subscribe to this channel for the latest strategic updates. All right, now let's get into the briefing. So our first piece of intel brings us to this fundamental dilemma for the Indian Air Force. It's this constant tug of war, right, between the national ambition of Atmanirbhar Bharat, being self-reliant, which is embodied by our Tejas program, and the urgent, non-negotiable need to get advanced combat aircraft in the air to deter our adversaries. This is a story of delays, penalties, and a very unexpected geopolitical opportunity. The heart of the Tejas Mark 1A program, its very lifeblood, is the engine. Now, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, HAL, signed this massive contract with the US-based GE Aerospace for 99 F-404 engines. The whole plan was for a steady stream of these engines to feed the HAL production line, so we could roll out new fighters fast. But the reality? Well, as this timeline shows, it's been a bit of a disaster. Out of 99 engines we were supposed to get, only 6, that's right, 6 have actually been delivered. GE is now promising 20 more by the second half of this year. But this delay, this has created a critical bottleneck, putting the Air Force's whole modernization schedule at serious risk. So here's the kicker. HAL has moved way beyond just asking nicely. They've invoked the penalty clauses in the contract. They're imposing what's called liquidated damages on GE for every single delayed engine. Now, in the world of geopolitics, this is more than just a fine. It's a powerful signal from New Delhi that when we make a deal, strategic commitments have to be met. On a more positive note, sources are confirming that the existing Tejas fleet, which was temporarily grounded for checks, is set to resume full combat operations by next week. The Air Force is holding the line. They're only going to accept the new Mark 1A fighters when every single system is 100% perfect. And this whole delay perfectly sets the stage for the strategic crossroads India's now facing. Just as our own 4.5 generation Tejas program is hitting these supply chain snags, who comes knocking? Russia. They've picked this exact moment to put their fifth-generation stealth fighter, the Sukhoi Su-57, back on the table. And they're framing it very carefully, not as a competitor to our own future stealth fighter, the AMCA, but as a strategic bridge to fill that capability gap until the AMCA is ready in the 2030s. But what makes this offer so different from before is the tech at its core. See, Moscow isn't just offering a standard fighter jet. They're proposing a unique two-seat command-configured version of the Su-57. This thing is purpose-built for a concept called manned-unmanned teaming, or MMT. And this, my friends, is the foundation of sixth-generation air combat. Think about it like this. The pilot in that second seat isn't just a co-pilot. They are a battle space commander. They're like a quarterback on the field directing a whole swarm of autonomous loyal wingman drones like Russia's S-70 Okhotnik. This isn't just about buying a new jet. It's an offer to leapfrog an entire generation of air combat doctrine. Now, while India is grappling with these challenges of getting foreign tech for one program, there is an absolutely phenomenal success story unfolding on the other side of the equation. This is the story of Atmanirbhar Bharat, that self-reliant India initiative, which has sparked a seismic shift, transforming our nation from being known as the world's biggest defense buyer into a powerful global supplier. For decades, the global perception of India in the defense market was pretty simple. A huge country with a really big checkbook. But does that perception still hold up? Well, the hard data suggests a massive paradigm shift is already here. Get a load of this number. For the financial year 2025-26, India's defense exports have hit a record-shattering, absolutely astronomical 38,424 crore. Just let that number sink in for a moment. This is not a small incremental gain. This is a quantum leap in capability and confidence that completely repositions India's role on the world stage. This number is strategic autonomy in its purest form. And this chart really just shows the sheer speed of this transformation. In one single year, our defense exports skyrocketed up by a staggering 62.66%. We went from 23,000 crore to over 38,000 crore. This isn't just growth, it's an industrial explosion. It's undeniable proof that the Make in India initiative is no longer just a slogan, it is a powerful economic and strategic engine. So, who's driving all this success? Well, the private sector has been a huge force, contributing over 45% of total exports, which is fantastic. But the real headline here, the big story, is the dramatic turnaround of the public sector. The Defense Public Sector Undertakings, or DPSUs, they accounted for nearly 55% of all exports, and that represents a colossal 151% increase in their own export performance. A revitalized, competitive, and aggressive public defense industry is now a reality. We now shift our briefing to the planet's most volatile geopolitical flashpoint, the escalating conflict between the United States and Iran. This is a theater where the gap between the political talk and the military reality on the ground, well, it has become a dangerously wide chasm. So, the official narrative being broadcast from the White House, coming directly from President Trump, is one of imminent victory. The stated position is that the U.S. military campaign has been a massive success, that Iran's offensive capabilities have been taken apart piece by piece, and that the conflict is basically in its final stages. However, our intelligence from the ground, combined with open source analysis, paints a starkly different and, frankly, a far more alarming picture. The conflict is not winding down. Not at all. It's metastasizing, spreading, and entering a far more dangerous phase. I mean, the official story began to fall apart almost immediately. Literally moments after that victory speech was delivered, reports confirmed that Iranian ballistic missiles had slammed into the port of Haifa in Israel, a key U.S. ally. At the same time, attacks by Iran-backed militias on U.S. assets across the region continued. They didn't even pause. And most critically, our intel suggests the White House is now actively considering a ground invasion to seize Iran's enriched uranium, a move that would be the tripwire for a catastrophic full-scale regional war. The global economic stakes in this are just immense. In response to all the pressure, Iran has played its most powerful card, its control over the Strait of Hormuz. By blockading this critical choke point, where 20% of the entire world's oil supply has to pass, Tehran has sent a shockwave through the global economy. They're effectively holding the energy security of dozens of nations hostage. And this is where India's unique diplomatic position becomes a major strategic asset. Right in the middle of this global crisis, Iran has issued a specific public assurance directly to New Delhi, saying, "Indian friends are in safe hands. Our Indian-flagged vessels are being allowed safe passage." This is the direct payoff of a decades-long independent foreign policy. Now, Iran and Oman have declared that they, not Western powers, will decide the future of this vital waterway. And that places India, with its strong ties to both sides, in an absolutely indispensable diplomatic position. This chain of events brings us to our final and most critical intelligence item, the reveal I promised you. The conflict in West Asia isn't just about geopolitics, it is a live-fire demonstration of the new rules of war. We are witnessing the battlefield being dominated by asymmetrical threats, where low-cost, easy-to-get technology can challenge, neutralize, and even defeat billion-dollar military hardware. This is the central question of 21st century warfare, and we got our answer in a dramatic viral video that came out of northern Iraq. It showed a dogfight unlike anything we've ever seen. Not two rival jets dueling for air supremacy, but a state-of-the-art fourth-generation fighter jet, desperately trying to take down a cheap, propeller-driven drone. The whole point is laid bare in this stark comparison. On one side, you've got a $100 million American F-15, a marvel of avionics and raw speed, built to own the skies. On the other, a $20,000 Iranian Shahed drone, which is basically a flying moped with a GPS and a warhead. The F-15's advanced systems, its incredible speed, all designed to fight other fast jets, made it almost impossible to effectively target the slow, low-flying drone. The shocking result? The drone evaded the fighter and successfully struck its target. The single event is a brutal wake-up call for every military planner on Earth. It proves that in modern war, a high price tag is no longer a guarantee of victory. So to wrap this up,
This briefing really shows the complex, multi-layered strategy India has to execute in 2026. First, there's the absolute need to accelerate our Atmanirbhar mission to make sure we have technological sovereignty and a secure supply chain. Second, we need the skill to leverage strategic partnerships with everyone, East and West, to get those critical next-gen technologies. And third, we need the diplomatic finesse to navigate these global crises and protect our national interests. It is a delicate, high-stakes, and constant balancing act.
Which brings us to the final briefing question for you, our community of analysts. Based on everything we've covered, from the Tejas engine delays to Russia's 6th-gen offer and this new reality of drone warfare, what is the right strategic choice? Should India put all its resources into fast-tracking our own indigenous AMCA and just accept the short-term risk? Or is securing the Su-57 as a strategic bridge the smarter play to guarantee air superiority right now? Share your analysis in the comments below, and don't forget to like this explainer and subscribe for more strategic briefings. Until next time, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.